Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Holden Brothers. We are up here on a cold, frigid Saturday. It's like 25 degrees outside. And if you know anything about Texas, or if you're from here, you know that that's really cold for us. It was actually really nice. The drive into work today was killer. There's nobody on the road. There's nobody doing anything except for Steven and I. Yeah. So we came up here today because we are going to introduce y'all to some really cool trucks that we bought. We've had these things for a few months, but we haven't covered any of it because we've had so much stuff going on. And yeah, so without further ado, let me introduce you to these two trucks. Steven's 71 half-ton.
What up?
Travelall. What's up, 12er?
You know, just working on 12er.
And this one is my 74 3/4 ton. And yeah, today we're going to show a little bit of love to these old trucks, man. Steven's over here throwing a new carburetor on this thing. The old Holly that was on it had a lot of throttle shaft play. We had bad vacuum leaks under the base plate, and
Cuts didn't work.
Yeah, we've been dealing with all kinds of crap. But we did make these things run. We've got both of these trucks running. Steven just got a new carburetor in. I actually had my thermoquad bop gone through over here. Actually got this from a buddy of mine. There's a dude, Ken, out of Canada. I think Ken Manley is his name. He is like a thermoquad wizard, and I was able to score one of those carburetors from a good friend of mine. So we're up here this morning tinkering with these things, seeing how well we get these running, and maybe go for a drive. Actually, we bought both of these trucks, that white one and this gold one, at the same time from the same guy. And it was just something Steven actually stumbled across on Facebook Marketplace. We're always looking for international stuff because we grew up in a 61 Scout when we were kids. We had a 61 and a 65, and spent a lot of time, a lot of hours, days, years, and months, honestly, in Scouts. And never had anything other than international Scouts and pickups. And then he found these Travelalls. And for those of you who do not know what a Travelall is, well, I'm going to tell you. We've got two pretty cool examples of the way that these were built in the 70s. Both of these trucks are 70s trucks. Steven's is a 1971, mine's a 1974. And Steven's truck is what they call an 1110, which is a half-ton. It is a 5-lug truck. It would have came with like Dana 44 axles underneath it. The sheet metal is similar across the board with these trucks. Depending on the year model will depend on like where the blinkers are and whether it had fuel tanks in the fenders or not, and little stuff like that. They had grill changes. They had a few little interior things, but for the most part, each series of the trucks look very, very similar. International wasn't like Cadillac or Ford or anything like that, where they had all these like super fancy, crazy options. These were built to be worked. They're super stout. They came, you know, anytime, like if you were to compare an international axle of the same year model to a Ford or a Chevrolet, typically across the board, your international stuff was heavier. It had more fasteners, maybe, you know, stronger. They were unique widths and stuff like that. They were really just a really cool truck that, you know, you would go down to your local tractor dealer and this thing would be sitting on the lot. So you could buy a, you know, 75 horse big 4-wheel drive tractor and then walk to the other side of the lot and buy you this suburban looking, you know, 6-8 passenger 4-wheel drive truck on the exact same lot. Because International, that's how they got down. These dudes were hardcore, and they've actually blown up here recently with a huge following because people are finally realizing how badass these things really are. So anyway, Steven's truck is a half-ton truck. It came equipped with a 345 2-barrel. It is a 3 on the tree. For those who don't know what that means, it is shifted manually, but on the column. So you've got, you know, first, second, third gear, and reverse. All that stuff shifts up here. But it's, you know, clutch pedal on the floor. Anyway, called 3 on the tree. This truck is a really cool rig. This one has the tailgate on the back with the roll down back glass. And it actually is optioned with kind of some cool stuff. It's got like cruise control. I think it was an air conditioned truck. It's got auxiliary fuel tank. Steven had an old Holly on this thing, which is what it was built with, like a 350 CFM Holly. And anybody who knows or has ever dealt with any old carburetors knows the woes of dealing with
This is my old one.
old carburetors. This thing had throttle shaft play, so it had vacuum leaks. We had busted vacuum caps. It was warped underneath the bottom side where the base plate bolts to the manifold, so we had a vacuum leak going on there. The float, you couldn't get the float level set right, and anyway, on these old carburetors, sometimes it's not worth buying a kit and going through it, because even if you reseal the thing, you still end up with problems like the throttle shaft bushings and stuff like that. So he scored a 2-barrel, I think off a Summit, another a factory style replacement. It's a 350 CFM electric choke 2-barrel, and we just got the right spacer this morning so that the throttle linkage wouldn't, it was touching the intake manifold, so we got that thing spaced up right. Got the throttle index right, all this stuff's hooked up, so we're getting really close to being able to fire this truck up, maybe check the timing on it, and dial in the carburetor and let you guys hear this thing run. This one is a 1974, and this one is what's called, this is actually a 200 or a 3/4 ton. You can see that it's an 8-lug truck. This one came equipped with a 392.
The biggest and the baddest from International.
Yeah, this is a sweet motor right here. For the guys who know Internationals and love Internationals, you know the 392 is like kind of the motor to have. They make excellent torque. They come in a 4-barrel option. This one actually came spread bore thermoquad, which, yeah, no, exactly. There's a lot of guys who talk trash about quadrajets and thermoquads. Let me tell you something right now. If you've never heard the 4 barrels open on a thermoquad or driven a V8 with a well-tuned thermoquad, you do not know what you're missing. The sound of this thing when you stomp in it and the secondaries back here open, you can hear that 4 barrel from the other side of Texas. This thing is, they're really, really cool. The motors make a lot of torque. They're not high RPM engines, but they run really well. They're extremely strong. The bottom end in these motors are 4-bolt mains. The camshaft does not use a timing chain. This is gear to gear, like a 12-valve Cummins or a diesel engine would have been built, or any of your built for industrial use motors. One of the cool things about International is they never purposely built an engine for a light duty application. These are all medium and heavy duty, 100% duty cycle dump truck engines that were used in their passenger vehicles and in their trucks. So this would be the same motor that would have been in a school bus, in a dump truck. All those same types of applications use the exact same engine architecture. So they were really known for overbuilding everything. This one is equipped with a Dana 44 up front. It's a 44 HD, has disc brakes on it. This truck came with a Dana 60 in the back. It's a 373 truck, posi track rear axle. Like I said, 392 4-barrel. This truck also is a 4-speed on the floor. It was equipped with air conditioning up here and something that we'd never seen before. I don't know if it was a factory upfitted option or aftermarket or what, but it actually has rear AC as well. This truck was an unexpected purchase. Honestly, I saw this in the listing whenever Steven was looking at the Gold 71. It was in the background of the picture. And what caught my eye was the barn doors. And I noticed that it was 8-lug, and I knew that it was going to be something really cool. I'd never seen one of these. Then we got to talking with the guy and found out that this was actually an Arizona forestry truck. And it was owned by the state of Arizona, and they used it up in the mountains and in the forest there for years and years and years. I'm dealing with a couple of issues on the inside with my ignition cylinder. Every now and again it will actually crank, but for the most part the key ends up in a bind and I can't get the plunge to work right, and so I've been having to start the truck under the hood. Stevens has been firing up basically every single time, but he was dealing with carburetor issues, so he's remedying that right now. So anyway, we're going to dive into these things, see how far we can get on these trucks today, and regardless, we're going to drive one of these things around and let you guys hear these things run. Got it running. Let me show you the carburetor. Our gas level's perfect. You can see it right through the sight. Truck's sitting here idling on choke. It's 25 degrees outside. It's a 50-year-old truck. Sounds good. Ooh, blow a little nasties out. So I'm talking about, baby. Got a little bit of adjustment to do on the carburetor. We'll set it up for lean vest idle. Whenever we get the motor warmed up, we'll adjust our choke. That's a happy guy right there. Right here. There. All right, we got it running. Barely. Going for a cruise. Got some bad gas. Didn't check the timing.
My door's open.
Door flew open. We're going. Bad. Yeah, dude. Our maiden voyage. Think the speedos work? Got a little torque? Yeah.
Run the fire extinguisher, catch on fire.
Come on.
I think the speedo's also off because we got bigger tires.
Yeah. We're definitely going faster than 30. So we're about
15 miles an hour off. So, be careful in the school zone.
so far so good. Well, gotta do some pushing. Hold the gas pedal on the floor. There we go. Dude, that thing just shit a giant cloud back there. Okay, so the choke on the carburetor out of the box from A-Tech or Summit, they didn't have the spring even on the pivot. They had it on the backside, so the choke was pin closed. Set it full lean. Didn't work, flooded out, died. We just did a big old nasty burnout. I think scared grandma right here. Sounds much better with the choke off. Yeah, it idles. Sounds good for open manifold. Bro, what's up? Bro, look at that thing getting dirty. Dude, that is nasty for an old International. Bro, look at that thing.
My door don't open, brother. Front springs here off a 73 to 87 K10, like a full-wheel drive, half-ton full-wheel drive pickup or Blazer or Suburban. And there's a kit from, I can't remember who, one of them international pages that moves the shackle from right here to back here, and it allows you to run a longer spring, so you get a smoother ride, more travel, and a little bit of a lift at the same time. And well, that's why we got some flex going on.
We still got some other stuff to do as far as steering and stuff. Like, this is the bump steer master right here, okay? You hit some bump, steering wheels like rip your fingers off. So this is not a professional level finished product. This is perfect for wheeling around on the property though right now and having a good time. That's for damn sure.
The rear's all stock with double lift blocks, which also is a no-no.
Yeah.
But
do not do this. Don't do it.
Yeah.
That's not the way you do it. Unless you're just farting around, that's all we wanted to do. We just want to get the thing out here and freaking drive it around.
Hey, I forgot to put all the lug nuts on too, so.
You got like a lug nut or two on there?
I got 3 of 5.
Sounds good to me. See what it's made of. That's what's up, dude. What a badass truck. Yeah, dude. Dude, that thing looks so sick.
That's bad.
It looks so bad. It's like some freaking mega hearse.
It purrs like a kitten.
Pretty dope. Pretty dope. Let's see if we can get this thing back to the shop. Definitely runs a lot better without the choke stuck closed, man.
Oh yeah. Until next time.
Later.
We're out.